Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to introduce our session chair for today's session, Dr. Jitendra Kumar Katayar, who is a position of an assistant professor at the Center for Research Impact and Outcome, that is CRIO, Chitkara University, Punjab. Additionally, he holds the position of local coordinator for the Global Initiative of Academic Network program started by the Ministry of Education at Chitkara University. He has 9 years of total teaching and research experiments. We would like to felicitate Dr. Jitendra Kumar Kataria. I would request sir to please kindly come for the felicitation. I would request the senior faculty member to please felicitate Jitendra sir. I would like our senior faculty members to please felicitate Dr. Edgar sir, please.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Warm welcome after wonderful high tea for this session. I'm coordinating this session as a chair of this session. I would like to introduce first plenary talk, which is given by Professor Edgar from University of Tarapeca, Chile. He is going to deliver a talk on very generic topic of prospective challenges and opportunities for mechanical engineering, some insights into the large mining industry, renewable energy sectors, and the sustainable global context. Professor Edgar is a distinguished academician and researcher in the field of mechanical engineering. He currently serves as the Director of Department of Mechanical Engineering at the University of Tarapeca in Arica, Chile, Professor Edgar has made significant contributions to the advancement of mechanical engineering through his research, publication, and leadership. His area of expertise includes thermal engineering, fluid mechanics, and renewable energy system. Over the years, Professor Edgar has been actively involved in various national and international research projects, collaborating with renowned institutions and researchers globally. His work has been published in several high impact journals, and he is frequent speakers at international conference. From this brief introduction, I would like to invite Professor Edgar to deliver his wonderful thoughts so that everyone can be benefited from his point of view. So, welcome, Professor Edgar.
Uh, I don't know whether and to advance, how can is there a control or not? Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for all to the organizers, Professor Sirkawar, that is not here, but I'm here because of him. I'm also here because of Professor Atul Sagade, who is from India and is my colleague who works in my university. I'm very happy to be here, but I am also a bit tired. I should be sleeping by now, actually, because of the 9.5 hours time difference. So please be patient with my presentation if I am a bit slow at some point. And I have two news. One is not too good. The other one is good. Perhaps after my talk, you haven't learned anything new, anything else. But what I pretend during my presentation is that to show some different aspects of mechanical engineering, maybe using a different glasses than the ones that you are used to wear. I said that because I come from the other part of the globe, from Chile. I will talk a little bit about Chile. So let's see if you learn something out. And because of this subject related to mechanical engineering, can you go to the next, please? That's what I want to talk. The point number 8, I think if you were to, you went to the opening ceremony, probably the answers were there. So that's good for me because I don't have to talk too much about that. So first of all, I want to show where I come from. I come from Chile. I don't know how some of you have been to Chile, or do you know something about Chile? No, I don't know. I know that you don't drink too much wine, but Chile is famous because of the wine, the grapes. We are a tiny country compared to India. We are only near to 20 million people. It's not that much. And actually, in South America, is also the population is not too high. Go to the next, please. And I come to the city, a city called Arica, that is very up to the north, very close to the border with Peru, 60 kilometers only, and 200 kilometers from Bolivia. So we are in this zone, it's very multicultural, also very rich. We have two valleys, we have the desert, we have the sea, we have the mountains. Can you please continue? So the biodiversity of the region is very rich because we can be at some point at the sea level by the coast, and in 2 hours we can be 2.5 hours we can be there at 5,000 meters above the sea. So the landscape changed completely in 2.5 hours. You can imagine that I can be the same day during the morning at the beach. In the afternoon, I can be there, and sometimes it's snowing. So it's very strange, very peculiar. Next. So I work for this university, which is not an university that is in the capital. However, it's the best regional university in Chile, despite the fact that we are in the extreme north of the country.
We have several programs, undergraduate, postgraduate research, and we have the quality, high quality. It's like, I think in India you said A plus, A plus plus. We are in that category in Chile. The maximum number of years in Chile for the quality assurance is 7 years. We have 6 years, but we are not in Santiago de Chile, which is the capital, which is harder to make science from there. Some pictures from the campuses. We have 4 campuses. There are pictures of 2 campuses there. And this is part of the staff that works for me. Our department is a department that is older than the university, actually. The department is 55 years old. The university is 45 years old. Some administration changed there. And we have some interesting labs, like we have these labs are in the mechanical engineering department, solar labs. We have different facilities there to work with photovoltaic solar panels, solar storage, pumping, agriculture, photovoltaic applications, and so on. We have also this facility to work in solar water treatment and also desalination. We have also this lab, this mobile lab where we can test the water to see what is the quality of water, and we can go to the small towns, the village, to the schools, college, also to teach about science using these facilities. And I will mention just 1 or 2 topics that we are developing very hardly at the university. One is related to heat pipes, thermosiphons. That is a technology that has several applications for nuclear development, agriculture, refrigeration, and we are trying to make the link between the use of heat pipes with also solar energy. For instance, to develop, among other things, cookers more efficient. Solar cookers are good, all of you know that, but the problem is that we have under the sun, right? So with the use of heat pipes, perhaps we can have a kitchen working like a chef with a solar cooking energy, but with the use of heat pipes, we can take the energy from outside and cook inside. So we are trying to develop that in several applications. We have already 2 patents. And related to the country, and I want to show this because I will tell you something about what I'm talking about mining. This graph here is related to the exportation of the country. So despite the fact that we are a tiny country, Chile is the largest producer of copper in the world. I don't know if you knew that. The exportation of copper around the world and is the main product, copper oil and copper refined, is nearly 50% of the exportation of the country. Also, we have the carbonates. Here is the lithium. I don't know if you knew about the lithium also, but now this year we are the second largest producer of lithium in the world. The first one is Australia, and the third one is China. And you know, of course, where the lithium is used now in the batteries is the demands are increasing. So it's very important for us to work on that, to develop technology related to the lithium. The other graph here shows some countries, they could have more relations in terms of exportation. So most of our products, they go to China, Japan, South Korea, and United States, and Brazil. And India is here is like 1.27%. So there is a big opportunity to increase that number in the future. That's why also we are here. Chile also, part of the mining, has played an important role in the development of solar energy. If you have seen the news in the last decade, the growing is exponential in Chile. It seems that always we had very good solar radiation in the country, but we were looking only at the mines. We didn't look at the sky. And suddenly someone say, okay, but we have so many energy in the sky, why we don't use it? And we have the desert. The driest desert in the world also is in Chile. It's the Atacama Desert. So thousands of kilometers of desert where we can now, this is an AI image, but this is not far from what we have already installed in the desert. So we have already set 70% of its total energy consumption to renewable, mainly solar energy. This goal was already reached. So it was reached before 2030. And in the strategic energy plan, we expect to have by 2050 become carbon neutral. So as I said before, related to the lithium production, we are the second largest lithium producer. The exports compared to last year grown 24%, and the next year it will grow maybe more, even more than that, because of what I said. And I told you that we are very close to the Peruvian and Bolivian border, right? And I don't know if you have heard about the triangle of the lithium. It's Argentina, north of Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. In that part of the world, there are more than 70% of the total reserves of lithium in the world are there. So that's why I say that there is an opportunity also for India to collaborate together, because we need you to develop technology, not only to produce lithium, but to develop, for instance, batteries and many other technologies that will help us to do that. So Chile is prone to the renewable energies, and if you see these graphs, it's where we are investing money to develop energy, and most of the money it will go to renewables, electricity grids to promote electromobility, clean fuels, green hydrogen, and almost nothing related to fossil fuels or all of those type of energies that produce greenhouses effects. So if we talk about the challenge, I talk about the country, what we have, what are with richness. You know about the 2030 agenda. It affects everyone in the world. The countries depends on the politics of every country. The compromise is more stronger in some countries and other less. But what is clear is that we have to mitigate the climate change, also to diminish the gap between the rich and the poverty, and promote industrial production. And if you see this, what is in the green square, and that's why we are here. The key to get to these main goals has to be with education, research, innovation, human factors, and talent. Without this, we will not reach the goals to fight against the climate change. This graph shows the relationship between the different factors that affect the climate change. And it's very clear that what affects the most are the emissions and also the policies from the countries and our social behavior also. Because these that are in red color is what is in nature, and what is in blue color is what depends on the meteorological, the weather, the storms, and so on. But we have so many things to do regarding to this, and all of these lines what shows is the relationship and the effect that we have on the climate change. So we at least in Chile, we are progressing with these decarbonization plans, trying to help in that direction, using new technologies with policies, public policies, and also with the compromise of the private sector. We also have now available these new technologies that are related to the Industry 4.0, the smart automation, that is enabled because we can use all of these tools, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and so on. So what we are doing uh, now, less than 1 month ago, we were in this conference in Chile. Probably it's one of the most important conferences related to mining. This is called digital mining. Digital mining. There were participants of more than 16 countries in the world. And you see what are the subjects: automation, robotics, digitalization in mining. But all of these tools are used to help in this decarbonization program, to help or to go in this direction of mining zero emissions, because that's the way how can we contribute. So we use these tools. The development of the mining also goes in this direction. We have these remote operation centers. There are different configurations depending on the companies, depending on the purpose. But we already have some mines that are controlled, they are being monitoring hundreds of kilometers where the pit is. We don't need to be there. The mining industry, at least in Chile, didn't stop during the pandemic, and the pandemic helps to trigger this jump towards these remote operation centers. Did they do it for free? I mean, because they want to do it? No, it's because the market also push this business to do that. If you see the projection here, the blue colored line shows what is the estimated demand of green copper. It means copper that is produced by using clean energy, companies that they have a very low footprint of dioxide carbon. So if you want to be competitive, you need to introduce clean energy in the business. Otherwise, you will lose. So if we go in that direction, this is from 2021, one of the biggest company of producer of trucks. These are the type of trucks that are used in mining. The capacity load is about 400 tons. And they start to develop projects to implement change in the way they work, for instance, using batteries or trolleys or fuel cells with hydrogen to diminish the footprint, because most of the emissions from the mining industry comes from this type of machines. So there are already prototypes. This one was tested in the United States. Now we have some tested also that they are running in Chile, like pilots. They with trolleys. So these bars that are up at the up, they are connected to cables to charge the batteries. But it means that also we need to install all the infrastructure to be able to run these trucks with a very high reliability. 2 years later, this is the same company. The other companies are doing more or less the same. The main competitor of Komatsu is Caterpillar. And now we have a prototype that is using hydrogen fuel cells also. So it means that in that direction goes the future of mining. A month ago, we were in a meeting with companies where they were showing what are they doing to change the mining to zero emissions in the next 10 to 15 years. And it goes in this direction. So what it has to be related to mechanical engineering, we need to be prepared for that. So in the morning, they say we need to work multidisciplinary. So we need to work with electronic engineers, we need to work with people from other disciplines to develop this type of machines. So we need to know some more about artificial intelligence, use the coding. So this autonomy of trucks are possible because we already have these tools we can use them. There are these just two examples, for instance, how we're using artificial intelligence also in mining, developed by some of them by mechanical engineering, some of them by informatic and technology engineers, and some of them even for other people from other disciplines, not even engineers, for instance, sociologists. Sociologists are working very hard also in artificial intelligence, in coding, working with engineers as a teams. And we have the energy, the solar energy, as I just said before. There are several opportunities. Artificial intelligence in solar energy, for instance, can be used to optimize the tracking of the solar panels depending on the weather conditions. And it's already proved that the efficiency can be increased even up to 15% using artificial intelligence algorithms that help the system to work in a better way. This is just one of the many examples that we can have. The other important topic that also in the case of the mining they are very much interested is the solar, how we storage solar energy, because we don't have the sun during the night, only we have probably 8 to 9 hours at least in the desert. And there are so much energy that maybe can be storage. And there are different systems that there are different ways of doing that. I have a picture later on that shows probably one of the first largest project in solar concentration is also in the Atacama Desert. This is a prototype from a Swedish university. And of course, the solar cookers that we also work at our university in the development of more efficient solar cookers using different technologies. Actually, my colleague will present in the next room probably in half an hour more related to this subject. So I will not speak too much about that. And electromobility, in the case of the mining, most of the transportation of workers are doing with electrical buses. In the case of the country, Chile, Santiago de Chile has probably the largest number of electrical buses for public transportation in Latin America. So we also go in that direction because we believe that electromobility is one of the ways. Some other subjects related to this and that we work with, one is green maintenance. Usually when mechanical engineers, we work a lot with maintenance. So, maintenance is not, the image of maintenance is not always good. We represent maintenance something dirty. But what we have to do is to change that. We're talking now about green maintenance. Green maintenance means that we are more efficient. We try to extend the period of change of lubricants, for instance. We use materials that has more resistance. There are many ways of how we can approach this philosophy. Not necessarily always the name is green maintenance. It can be called, for instance, maintenance of water quality, and implicitly it means that we have to use these technologies. Of course, green tribology, we should change to use less oils that come from petroleum based to synthetic lubricants, but also materials that has more resistance to erosion, to weight in the time, using, for instance, nanotechnology. So there are different ways how we can advance and progress in that way, not only electromobility, also plastic waste, among other actions, and also in Chile we have advanced with wind turbines parked, not only solar. So in the end, then the big question is this: are we prepared for all of this change? As a mechanical engineers, I don't know if you have the answer. Maybe yes, maybe not. But as a teacher, as a researcher, I would say that one of the big answers are in the universities, in the institutes. We need to change the way we teach engineering. We need to introduce more innovation in our courses. We need to introduce more sustainable point of view also in the subjects that we teach. I know here, for instance, we use this philosophy problem solving skills in the engineering education hand on and always focusing in greener solutions. So thank you very much that I want to present to you. So I hope this gives you a different point of view useful for this conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Edgar. Any questions from the audience? Yeah. यही ले लो। Sir, please.
Hello, sir. Sir, you used a catalyst in energy storage material, energy storage slide. You use catalyst as in a energy storage slide. So, what kind of catalyst you used? Yeah, there.
No, I don't use it myself. This is an example. It was developed in Sweden. So the reference is there. So I suggest if you want to go more into this subject, go to this here. It was developed in a university in Sweden. The system is called MOST, MOST.
So this catalyst can increase the time rate for heating or cooling.
I mean, the whole idea here is to storage energy using during the winter, you use heat in domestic, of course. And then you can also combine with the solar thermal collector to storage the energy. And this catalyst is to this storage to go and help to the heating system to be more efficient, the heating system. Conventional is like a hybrid system. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You have a question also.
One quick question.
Yeah.
So you shared a slide of sustainability where you were talking about green maintenance.
Yeah.
So yeah, just out of curiosity, I want to know what exactly. No, is there any example or application like in Chile? Are you doing any green maintenance? Can you give some example?
Yeah,
Because these are the general words like not using.
Green maintenance is I don't know, maybe I would say it's an invention of myself. My main field of research actually is predictive maintenance. I work in mechanical vibrations. So I start to work on this more than 10 years ago.
This is also the field of research.
Good. So then, it's possible to find a good relationship between when a machine has more vibrations, vibrates more, the consumption of energy increases. So when you have machines that demands high capacity of energy, and you control the vibrations, the demands of energy is lower. So we have found that. So it's nothing to do with the use of green materials, but it has to be with efficiency in terms of less consumption of energy. I don't know if you mean what is the idea behind. That's just one of the examples.
That can be one of the ideas.
Yeah, that's one of the examples. There are several others, like for instance, to control the temperature also of the industrial machines using thermography, of course.
Sensors. Using sensors, IoT.
Exactly. Green lubricants, it's a combination of many things.
Thank
You're
you, sir.
welcome.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. You can discuss more at the time of lunch. So I'm concluding this session. And now,
I would like our senior faculty member and our dear session chair to please felicitate Dr. Edgar with a token of gratitude. This one has to go inside. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Right. Let's go. Actually, that is for that. Okay, okay, okay. And give me a sec. Okay, just a second, sir. Um, I would like our senior faculty members and our respected chair member to please felicitate Dr. Shivara Subramaniam with a sapling. So,
okay, so we'll move further to next friendly talk of this session. This friendly talk will be given by Professor Sivarao. He is a researcher and innovation management expert with over 30 years of experience. He served as Deputy Director of Research Management Center and the founding director of the Technology Transfer Office at UTEM, University Technology Mara, focusing on high impact innovation, intellectual property, and technology commercialization. With a robust background in mechanical, manufacturing, and automotive engineering, he has a key figure in public and private organizations since 1989, blending research and industrial expertise through tech transfer coaching and consulting. He watched over 200 peer-reviewed publications, 60 plus research grants, 30 plus patents, 50 plus innovation awards, and supervised 20 plus PhD and MSc postgraduate. As a certified technology transfer professional and accredited professional engineer, he bridges the gap between academia, industry, and government to foster new industry development. He has commercialized university technologies globally, including in Germany, received numerous prestigious awards, including Malaysian Best Innovator Award in 2010. Currently, he is the president of My IC and the founding vice president of ITMA, advocating for the collaboration between universities and industries to achieve shared goals. So, thank you very much, sir, for uh, this session and deliver his thought, and hopefully the participants will go through it and they have to learn something from you. So I welcome you, sir. So now floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank Amity University for welcoming us. And of course, the person behind the connection of my university and Amity will be Dr. Umesh Kumar uh, and also Prof. Basan Singh Sivarkar. Without them, I'm not here. And I need to thank to all of you for being here although the title may not be so much close to the research area that you are doing, it's a little divert. The reason why I choose this title is because I've led Research Management Center for a couple of years. And then I founded Technology Transfer Office. And holding this position, I found that's a big gap that the researchers need to address, where we normally look into very niche area. So I have another less than 4 years to retire. So my task now is to outreach to all the universities in Malaysia and also abroad, sharing my experience on how shall the researchers look into the areas that they are communicated with so that they can bring their technologies to the market in a much shorter time span. So that's the idea of this talk. I am from Technical University Malaysia. In short, it's called UTM, University Technical Malaysia Malacca. It's a first technical government university in Malaysia, established in year 2000. The idea of establishment was to cater people from industry. Therefore, we have equipments and resources suiting best for industry skill. We have 4x8 laser cutting machine. We are the only university having it. We have 20 feet surface grinding machine, and we have all industrial scale machines. We are 24 years old. We have got the student population about 11,000, 11 to 12,000. And we have about faculty members are about 1,500 in total. So we also have undergraduate, postgraduate, and postdoctoral studies in our university. I come from Faculty of Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering and Technology, University Technical Malaysia, Malacca. All right. I'd like to be more casual in this session, so please permit me. First of all, let us ask ourselves, can we name one technological solution spun out of our own university that is widely used benefiting public? Universities are there for so many years, decades, centuries, depending on the university that we are working with. But is there any one technological solution that we can be proud of coming from our university? Can anyone? Is there any? Is there any solution that has been spun out from our own university that is being widely used? Can I have any numbers, if any? That's the reason why I selected this topic. We are so good in research, as what has been mentioned by Dr. Ranjana in the morning just now. She has mentioned that we are doing a lot of research, but somehow connecting the research to the user is somehow the big gap in between. So that's where I come up with this. So very small number. And sometimes we have got very strong fundamental findings, results. But it is not translated into an application that may benefit industries, that eventually should be leading to the benefit of mankind. On the other hand, when we keep on telling fundamental has to be translated into applications, there are some misconception that they do not focus in fundamental, but they dive directly into the application part of it, which is also not correct when it comes from the university. So what is the role of university? Some of us may know it exactly. What is the role of and function of a university? What is the legacy and aspiration of our university? We have heard in the morning from the founder, sir, what is the legacy and aspiration? It's very clear. But that is his legacy and aspiration. Alike, all the universities should have their own legacy and aspiration. And all this research has to be narrated towards that. And do we contribute towards our country's development? That's the biggest question. If our research is not going to give anything in return to our country, benefiting public, then what is the point of conducting our research? That's the biggest question that arises from all the top leaders, politicians, everybody. So we as researcher, my initial research area was advanced machining. Then I venture into design, and eventually I found that it is time for me to give back whatever I've earned in the different perspective, so that we can expedite the process of technology transfer from university to industry. Basically, universities are made to be the birthplace of groundbreaking innovations. This is one thing that we have to be very clear, especially for the postgraduates. This has to be put very clear in their mind. Otherwise, they will come, they will get their degree, and then they graduate, and they take nothing and they give nothing back to the community. And academics are not just educators, but as pioneers in research and development. That is why I asked a question whether we have spun out any technology so far in the era of being with the university, and establish symbiotic relationship between academic research and societal progression. So if we don't play this role, then we will be ending up staying in the university, being in the lab, and we are not going to connect to the needy. And of course, last but not least, is create job opportunities and generate economy for the country. Gone are those days, the measurement of graduates. We said graduate employability. Now it has gone. How many job opportunities are being created by our graduates? We need to say how many startups. So how does this startup actually help in the economic as well as job opportunity for the others? However, the fact is that less than 10% of universities' research outputs are being commercialized. This figure is worldwide. Worldwide figure as of now is only 3 to 8% only. So we have heard that Amity has got 2,000 patents filed. So out of that, what is the percentage that can actually be translated into commercial? That is the measure. So in another word, more than 90% of universities' research outputs are not being fully commercialized. We are more into publications. We wanted to share our knowledge, but if that knowledge does not bring something in return, benefiting where the research is being conducted, then it's a huge waste of knowledge and resources. That's what I believe. A lot of people think commercialization is selling, but actually not. In the perspective of university, commercialization means you put into practice and trial to look into the acceptance level, whether it is okay or not. So that is the commercialization. Or in short, given by Journal of Tech Transfer, is the act of putting the findings into a trial in an attempt, turning them into business potentials. So this is actually commercialization mean. A lot of people misconcept commercialization for them is a business, it's a selling. It is not that. And that is why a lot of, academia or faculty, they are afraid to go or to talk about commercialization. I am not a business person. I am an academic. I am a researcher. I do not know how to do. But in the actual definition, this. And you have got centers, like it has been mentioned earlier, that you have got a center led by Dr. Karthik, Professor Dr. Karthik, right? I think he's leading the tech transfer office. So they will be helping us how to connect dots from research to commercialization. So how do we actually conduct? So we conduct research that pushes the boundaries of current knowledge. We do not do things that we do not know where it ends. As what has been clearly mentioned, it is about inverse research. we know what to do. We dream something back big, and then we roll back into what are the research essentially to be carried out. Translate theoretical knowledge into practical and applicable technologies. So if this is not happening, means we will be there with our fundamentals, and we are not going to bring a good name to our university in any way. And collaborating with industries to bring innovations from lab to market and backing technology transfer. Why am I talking all this? Because I've led those two centers. Not only that, I've commercialized my own technologies to Germany. So I know how people appreciate our findings, our results, that eventually make us feel so happy when people are using it for their benefit. So let me share a few case studies of those. When we say technology transfer, we often confuse between technology and product. Coming from university, technology should be the base. Without technology, if it is a simple product, without the technology, then where is the fundamental? That's the biggest question arise. So let us look into a few case studies, the university research that shaped the world benefiting mankind. MRI technology, invented way back in 1971 by Stanford University, and the inventor is Raymond Demadian. At that juncture, probably he may not imagine where will this or how will this be translated into the benefit. So the MRI machine uses a strong magnetic field and radio waves to create detailed images. Right? So this has been invented in 1971. So the technology is MRI technology. And MRI technology is not limited only for this purpose, but can be advanced of its user. GPS technology. We are all using GPS. But when was that invented? 1973 by MIT, by inventor Roger Esson. Alike, we have got touchscreen technology. Without touchscreen technology that has been invented in way back in 1965. So the technology that we are using today came from the technology that has been invented in 1965. So the technology is what we are looking into. What is the technology? A lot of research now is applied based. The applied alone cannot benefit us so much, or rather we can't own the technology, because what is more important is the technology behind the application. Right? So detect and respond to the touch. Alike, actually, I had a lot of slides, but I cut it off. VR, AR, those has been invented long back, which are now being the subject of that we speak today. All right? VR is here. 1968, and today we are talking about application of VR. So VR has been invented by University of Utah by Ivan Sutherland. And today we are talking about, hey, let's learn VR, let's learn AR. Correct? Why? What I'm trying to emphasize here is the power of technology, where the technology can be diversified into various applications that can benefit mankind. The time given to me is only 35 minutes max. So that's why I got to cut a lot. So therefore, there are only three primary transferable domains of university. We transfer knowledge, we transfer service, and we transfer technology. So we have to look, where are we? Where can our specialization fit into one of this? Transfer of knowledge is no problem. Most of us are involved with that. And for transfer of knowledge, more than 90% of the academia are involved. It's no issue at all. We are all involved in publication, in publication, sharing of knowledge, teaching. And service transfer is less than 50% involvement. Less than 50% involvement in service transfer, which is consultation. How many faculty members are actually involved in consultation. And the smallest percentage goes to technology transfer, where it is always below 10% until today. Although it is a buzzword by most of the politicians, by the top leaders, but we still remain the same. Like this morning, I met a gentleman when I came out from the guest house. I think he's ex Amitya, I'm not very senior. He said he's 73. He said researchers do nothing but research, and nothing is found. Because he said, we talk about climate change. Look at the climate today. Very nice inputs he has given in this morning. So if we are so much, in Malay we call it shock sendiri. We are so obsessed with what we do, but without having the ability to translate into an application, that research goes nowhere. If I am machining a super hard material with EDM technology, my finding should advance of something that we do that benefit. That means I should be cutting something better or something faster or something much cost effective. Otherwise, what is the technology? If I'm going to just change the material, if the material is not new, the technology is not new, the process is not new, the design is not new, then what's my contribution is the biggest question that we have to ask ourselves. But why are we not being of what we are supposed to be? Why? You can see here so many faculties, but excelling will only be one or two. The rest, sometimes we have got so much of knowledge, so much of fundamental knowledge, but we may not have, or we may have very limited knowledge of transferring it. So, of course, we need a vehicle or a mechanism to help us to move forward. And study of more than 2 decades found that there are 3 significant reasons, and they are: the tackled research problems are not significant enough. We are doing research for the sake of doing research. It is not significantly based on problems in demand. That is one reason. And therefore, we miss the research grants. Because research grants, because I'm sitting on the board of research grants and also the commercialization grants for the government and also in the private wings. So we will be missing research grants because the board members will be looking into what are the new things? How are you going to connect your findings to the solution benefit? That's first thing. And second thing, the established research ideas are not novel, neither innovative enough. Therefore, we miss the intellectual property. I go to so many universities, industries. I coach them with my team. How do we actually look for significant problem? How do we turn that into an innovative idea? So through that coaching, we found that many wanted to have patent under their inventor name. Unfortunately, when the ideas are not good, they are not novel, they are not industrial applicable, then it will be a big challenge to have IP protected. And of course, challenge technology transfer, and we miss the boat of commercialization. My take is very simple. If only every academic can understand and can move forward to commercialization as our end goal, one commercialization, I believe if you move up, our publication will be good, our IP will be good, our research grants will be good. Unfortunately, when we start from here, sometimes along the way, we get stuck. So how do we secure research grants, conquer IPs, commercialize technologies, and venture into consultations more effectively? I'm not saying we are not doing. Sometimes we are unable to see. It is just you need someone to open the eyes or to show something to us. This is the way forward. This is where we have to move. So I'm just sharing my experience. This is what Steve Jobs says. A lot of times people don't know what they want until you show it to them. And of course, we can't run away from, you need three things for invention or high impact innovation. First thing is idea, creativity, and knowledge, certainly, yes. And what's more important is creativity, even we being the faculty. So are we well trained, equipped with the right tools, techniques, and methods? I always claim that we academics are the superheroes. Without proper guidance, without proper training, yet in 4 to 5 years, we are able to pick things up on our own from our colleagues, from our seniors, and so on. So that is very good sign showing that we are very intellectual, meaning to say we can pick things up on our own from our reading material, from some successful examples, and so on. So over the decades of study, it is discovered, that's what our team discovered. There are 5 essential phases for academics to go through, which sums into 3 skill sets in producing industry-driven, high-impact research outcomes. And what are they? First is problemation. This is where most of the researchers get stuck. When they see problem, they directly dive into it. I want to solve this problem. They do not analyze whether this problem is really needed. How big is the demand? Whether there is a market for this problem. They never look into that aspect. Second is, once we identify the problem, the ideation stage is where we stuck. Sometimes we come up with solution that is not novel enough to claim that we stand superior. And the third one is the productization. So how do we translate that idea into a product that can actually benefit? And the validation, whether we validate at the actual scale or the industrial scale, and commercialization. Therefore, we only need 3 aspects, which is innovation sprint, commercial sprint, and power pitching. Only if our faculty have these 3 elements, they are trained properly on these 3 elements, I believe we can move much faster than what we do today. So academics need to master 3 transformational skill sets. Innovation sprint to generate novel research and innovation ideas. Commercial sprint, strategizing development of commercial ready research solutions. And finally, power pitch is also very important, especially when we stand to pitching for our research grants, IPs, and so on. I do not know what is the procedure here. In my place, in Malaysia, we have to really pitch to say why we stand different when we apply for patent. So in that context, we must know how to pitch. We must know to say the highlights of our findings and why it will give benefits in return as compared to other solutions available in the market. By having all those, actually, the clarity and the opportunity, we will dive from here, go here. Meaning to say, which I learned in 20 years, by going through those elements, probably you can learn in 5 years. So the university will benefit, the nation will benefit, and the entire country will benefit at large. As a conclusion, I would say implementing the 3 transformational skills sets by universities in Malaysia has increased the numbers in research grants, patents, technology transfer, consultations, and also publications in the past 4 years. As academics, we are custodians of innovation. Our charge is to conceive groundbreaking ideas, safeguard intellectual property, and forge them into technological solutions. Thus, uniting ideas, creativity, and the know-how with precise tools, techniques, and methods will certainly propel impactful research and innovation into commercial success, bringing pride to our universities. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. Any questions? 1 or 2 quick questions. Any curiosity, if you want, you can Ask. No one.
Yes.
Yes. I was wondering if the methodology that you use is the design thinking methodology or is a different methodology?
Well, thank you, Prof. Basically, design thinking, we have got Scamper, we have got so many tools to come up with innovation. Somehow they are not interconnected. So the tools that we have developed in-house, they are starting from the very beginning until the end, incorporating partly of their elements, but not totally. But they are not design thinking, they are not Scamper, not at all. These are all newly established solutions.
Thank you. I hope there is no further questions. Oh, one, please.
Thank you very much for nice presentation. In fact, my mind is always, towards innovation. Even though while do researching, for example, you are doing research in 10 different ways, but one way will be success as a innovation. Okay, the remaining 9 ways will be as a publication somehow. You get my point? So we don't know out of these 10 which one will hit as an innovation. So 9 will be like aside. So what do you think about in such cases? Like you keep on standard on innovation or remaining 9 ideas also will work out. For example, some problem of statement you are taking, for example, diabetics medicine, but you are inventing other medicines also in the meantime, right? So what do you think in such cases? Like you want to be, focused on one simple solution or take on?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. If I can understand the question correctly, if we say this is the innovation, shall I focus this in one path and leave behind of the 9 potential innovative solutions? Right? Okay. If I can go back, thank you. Very good questions. Okay. This is where the ideation stage comes in. Basically, the ideation stage is where it will give us very diversified, depending on the depending on the member in the group. And that is why in research, normally we don't only put the core members of that research team. We will have people out of the research for them to think out of the box and question something that we never thought. So while an innovation and research is perpetual, it has got no stoppage for anything. So we can continue while we keep growing our ideas behind. And when we think it is necessary, we will pick this and put it there to see whether this can be interconnected. This is how I work. That is why my phone always I will use note. I'm not a note promoter, but I like to whatever 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning when we get an idea, wild idea, just put it. The next day, call the team. Let's discuss. Can we just put it under KIV or shall we scrap it off? And we will always make the due diligence very immediately. We do not keep it for so long. So the due diligence is very important for us to understand how much we are actually so different as compared to what existing. And that is what we have to work very fast because the technology evolution is so fast nowadays. The moment you talk about the idea, someone is already developing somewhere else. So it's very, very important, sir. So in any way, never leave even at that moment we think it is a stupid idea, record them, keep them, and we never know in which way that idea will benefit later in our innovative solution. And I am not also putting innovation and research separately. They have to bind and move together. There are certain things that we can publish, certain things we should not be publishing, especially in the aspects of protecting our intellectual property. I hope I've answered your question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll close this session, hopefully. And I would like to invite the senior persons who are present here to facilitate our speaker. Speaker, sir, please come.
Thank you, Dr. Ume. Without Dr. Ume, I not here. Coming, sir, coming. We have been collaborating for the past, I think, more than a decade. Edgar, sir. I would like Dr. Edgar to collect his certificate from our senior faculty members. Right. I would like our senior faculty members to please present our dear session chair with the token of gratitude. Ruk. Please have a round of applause.
Thank you very much. And I would like to invite all for a group photo for this session. Please come forward. All of you, please come forward.
हाँ वो कर दूंगा लाउंज और फोयर में F1 हॉल F1 हॉल है तो नहीं कर लाउंज है F1 कह रहा है ठीक है F2 फोयर स्टूडेंट्स का वहाँ पे ठीक है और डेलीगेट का F1 देखिए F1 और डेलीगेट और स्टूडेंट
Special guest one more and students for
F2 हॉल हाँ
two foyer
अच्छा I would like to request all the delegates and special guests to please proceed for lunch at F2 hall and all the students and participants for lunch at F1, F2 foyer. Okay? Thank you.
Very good afternoon and a warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, teaching staff, and all the students present today. My name is Manu Satyaprakash Patharia, and along with my colleague Harshit Joshi, will be a host for this keynote talk. We are delighted to welcome you to the fourth biennial international conference on future learning aspects of mechanical engineering, FLAME 2024, organized by the Department of Mechanical Engineering, ASET, Amity University, Noida. Harshit, please.
So I would like to introduce the session chair for the keynote talk, Dr. Ashwini Kumar, Technical Education Department, Kanpur. Okay, sir. So now I would like to request Dr. Ashwini Kumar and Dr. Ravindra Kumar to present the Tulsi sapling to Dr. Kishore Kumar Sadaswini as the token of gratitude.
Yes, that will be Thank you, sir. Today, our keynote speaker is Dr. Kishore Kumar Sadaswini. He is a professor at Qatar University, Qatar. The topic of his keynote talk is advancement in sensor technology for environmental and human protection, innovations by the SNS research group at Qatar University. Dr. Kishore Kumar Sadaswini is a distinguished research assistant professor at the Center for Advanced Materials at Qatar University. He holds a master's degree from Andhra University, India, and has earned his PhD in Material Sciences and Engineering from the University of South Brittany, France, in 2012. Recognized among the world's top 2% scientists by Stanford University in 2019, 2020, 2022, and 2023. Dr. Sadaswini has made significant contributions to academia and research. He has over 15 years of research experience with more than 450 publications in peer-reviewed journals, 20 book chapters, and 11 edited books. Accumulating over 17,000 citations and H-index of over 70, he holds 4 US patents, 2 Indian patents, with 5 more under consideration. Dr. Sadaswini leads 11 research projects funded by the Qatar National Research Fund and Qatar University. His collaborative efforts span over 480 co-authors worldwide in fields like computer science, biomedical sciences, industrial engineering, and electrical engineering, with partnerships spanning all over the globe from countries like the United States of America, France, South Korea, Oman, Spain, Italy, and Malaysia. His prolific research, innovative patents, and extensive collaborations underscore his commitment to advancing material sciences and fostering international cooperation in the research community.
Now I would like to request our session chair, Dr. Ashwini Kumar and Dr. Vishaka Bagel to take over the session and request our keynote speaker, Dr. Kishore Kumar Sadaswini, to deliver the keynote address.
So, ma'am, could you just join us for a moment and request for just a minute?
Good afternoon to everyone. As the students have announced, I would request Dr. Kishore Kumar Sadaswini to kindly proceed with the keynote speaking, and so that all the students can be enlightened with their talk.
Welcome you, sir. Thank you.
So thank you very much for your warm welcome. So today I would like to discuss about some of research work related to the sensor technology at Qatar University. So you may all aware of where Qatar is. It's a Gulf country. The population is around 25 lakhs. In that, 15 lakhs is Indians only. So imagine if you go any store, you can speak Hindi or you can speak Malayalam. Both languages can be more comfortable there. And you can see the transformation here. The Qatar was 35 years back. There was only one hotel is there. So, and now you can see the transformation. It's a huge transformation. And 2022, they have been held FIFA Cup also. And this is the Qatar University. And in the Qatar University, we have around 6 research centers. One of them is a Center for Advanced Materials. So in the Center for Advanced Materials, my group name is Smart Nano Solutions. And we deal with mainly sensors, different kind of sensors like biomedical, gas sensors, etc. And also we deal with the energy conversion. Mainly the topic which we have been choose this energy conversion is the main problem in Qatar, because the carbon dioxide release amount in Qatar is huge. In fact, in the worldwide, they're the one who is producing more carbon dioxide. So that's why we are fighting to decrease this carbon dioxide using the electrochemical and different methods. Even we work on hydrogen production also. Apart from that, also we work on 3D printing to make the prototypes. Also, we work on dielectric to store the energy, piezoelectric actuators, etc. You can see that of all these topics, I like the energy conversion, because this is the biggest problem what Qatar is facing. And apart from that, they don't have drinking water. So they need to depend upon the seawater, go for desalination, and also they have problems like corrosion. So what we understand, first let's know the problem of Qatar and then apply the grants. This is our main goal, in fact. So the outline of my talk will be on biomedical sensors and environmental sensor, chemical sensor conclusion. In the biomedical, we discuss about diabetics. So how we have to detect the diabetics without any taking the blood. Also, we developed corrosion sensors to protect the environmental, because in Qatar, this is the biggest problem is leakage. So if the oil is leakage, they will lose a lot of money. So we need to find a solution to protect it. In fact, the chemical sensor wise, so we have developed many different type of VOC sensors, gas sensors, conclusion. So coming to the biomedical sensors, so mainly we focus on biomarker. So in the background score, if you know about diabetics, so how you will understand that glucose level in the diabetics? So you have to go doctor and they will take the blood, and then they will understand that, okay, whether the glucose level is high or low. So imagine that if you want to do every day, because some of the patients, they need to do it every day. So every day you have to pinch it. So imagine how much pain they will face. So what if you have a non-invasive device? Means without pain, you need to be understand. That's what we are trying to do in this research. So in each disease, there are different type of biomarkers. For example, lung cancer, even bacterial infection, even the diabetics, breast cancer. So all these diseases, you can easily understand by just simply taking the breath itself. You don't need to go doctor every day. So imagine that you make a device which you can understand that you have diabetics or not. Okay, the glucose level is high or not. If you are taking the medicine every day, which is not really good for your health. So you have to know that how much is the amount of the glucose. Okay, so let me skip this slide. Okay, and these are the biomarkers. So for example, you can see the breast cancer. So from your breath, acetone and formaldehyde and ethane, if it is coming from your breath, means you have a symptoms of this breast cancer. So based on that information, you can easily access it. But again, the question is how you will understand this amount. For example, GC chromatography, which is very expensive and we cannot buy even. So people need a portable one and cheapest one. Okay. And other than this, disease detection type, you need to also know about the precision of medicine. For example, for diabetic patients, they are taking the medicine metformin. In fact, this medicine may not work some people. For example, 98% it works, remaining 2% it don't work. So how you will understand? So you need a device like this one. You take a medicine and you check the glucose level. Okay, before medication, after medication, you have to test it, in fact. So like that, we have to understand. So, and nowadays you can see this figure, 1 in 11 diabetics. So all the people are getting, and it is increasing, 2 within 11. So we have to fight against this one and find an easy method to detect it. And as I said, this is a gas chromatography. They are taking the breath and then they are analyzing that, okay, what kind of biomarkers in your breath itself. But it is very costly one. So we are bypassing it now. So to measure the glucose level, you don't need to be measured directly the glucose level. You can measure the acetone level. So acetone is directly proportional to the glucose. If you are measuring the acetone, you can directly assess the glucose. That's what you can see, that the range. And when you are increasing the acetone concentration, the response of the glucose also increasing. It's directly proportional, but the amount is low. So to detect this one, VOC sensors, in fact, I have been worked on this colorimetric sensor and surface acoustic also. We have worked on metal oxide sensors, but out of these, the best one I feel like colorimetry, because the accuracy, it is more than 99% and selectivity. But in the case of electronic sensors, it will give the value, but it won't give any sensitivity and selectivity also. So for example, in your breath is coming acetone and ethanol, both are coming. So the electronic sensor cannot detect it, in fact. It cannot distinguish, in fact. But the colorimetric sensor can do. So these are the advantages of the colorimetric sensor. It's a low cost, and you can do it at from your home itself. For example, if some people have some color blindness, they can use their phone and take a picture if there is color change is not, okay? So this is the prototype we have been made to design for diabetic. So he is a diabetic patient, in fact. So we asked him to blow through this solution. So this is the solution we have been invented. This is K-manophore solution. So using this solution, you can easily understand that the person who has acetone level in the breath or not. So keep in mind the acetone level, not only because of the diabetics, it's also because of fat burning process. Maybe if you are doing some exercise also, it will. So you need to also be distinguished in the meantime. Also, if you see this portable machine, it's around 20,000 rupees. This is electronic sensor in the market is available. But the one what we have been made is not even 10 rupees. So you can see the difference. And it's available, in fact. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so you can purchase anytime and you can refill it also, the solution. The good thing is, for example, I have diabetics, okay? I'm taking a medicine for morning and evening. So doctor used to tell like that, okay, you take every day, but that's not really good. It will affect your internal organism, in fact. If you have a glucose level, then you have to take. Otherwise, don't. Tomorrow you may not. Today you have. So imagine that you are taking overtaking of medicine to avoid that kind. So it's very important. So here is the concentration effect. I mean, if you are thinking about the concentration of acetone, it can measure in until 0.005 ppm level, which is very, very accurate, in fact. So we have also checked with the medication. So we take the patients and we gave the medication, okay, to them, and then we checked whether it is working with them or not. After medication, color should not be changed. What does it mean? The medication is working for him. If doesn't change, it means the medication is not working. 98% of medicines are failure because of this reason, So all are inventing new medicines, okay, but they are coming until the clinical trial. Later on, it will be failure because they don't know where it is happening, the mistake. But using this kind of technology, they can easily understand, okay, this medicine is really working in your body or not. Sometimes if they are giving a medicine, to the humans, internally it will damage also. So apart from this diabetes, we also worked on this coronavirus. Actually, this was done at 2020, when the COVID attacks. So we have been generated a new kind of device for detecting the COVID, okay? COVID is nothing but it's a lung disease. If a person who has a lung disease, they do release the nitric oxide and hydrogen peroxide. So they can easily assess using this technology, in fact. So for this, we have been used three different type of dyes. So crystal purple and algerine gelb and bromophenol blue. So you might have a question like, why we need three kind of dyes? So this is what I feel like. One may say no, mistake. Second, mistake. Third one may not be mistake. So if you're using three different dyes and three are telling yes, 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 what does it mean? It is yes, definitely. To make it more accurate, we use three different dyes to measure it. So these are the three different dyes at different pH level, and you can see that the ppm level 0.02 level you can easily measure, which is enough to understand the lung disease, in fact. The same way we have been worked on hydrogen peroxide, and these are the dyes we have worked eosine and KMR for starch. In such cases also you can see that concentration effect. When you're increasing concentration, the color is changing. So that's what we need to understand. Here you can see also 0.025 ppm level also you can measure it. And this is the sensitivity level and selectivity also. You can see that acetone, ammonia, benzene, formaldehyde, toluene, nitric oxide, hydrogen peroxide, all these we have been sent all together. But you can see that out of these three graphs, you can easily understand that which one is detecting. Here you can see that one hydrogen peroxide is detecting all these three. So what does it mean? So the biomarker is hydrogen peroxide. Okay. So after we made this the device, we thought, okay, what if people who has color blindness, they cannot see that color change easily, right? So for that, we have been built our own device where you can keep three dyes inside. Here you can see that, right? Yeah, here you can see that three dyes you can keep inside, and we use a small colorimetry machine. There you can find RBG value. Based on the RBG value, you can find out whether color change is happening or not. So apart from that, disease detection, we also check the ammonia detection, also formaldehyde and methanol, ethanol, all these components we have been checked. So coming to the environment sensor, so now we have been discussed about the biomedical sensor until now, right? So we move to the environment sensor. One of the major reason in Qatar is corrosion sensor. As I said, they are very rich people. Qatar people are very rich. They spend a lot of money even. But the negative is they don't have human capacity. So what they do is they spend a lot of money to find out the solutions. So the gas, oil gas pipes, they have been made it to transfer from one country to other country. So imagine if there is some leak happen, so a lot of money they've lost. So that's why what they will do, they will spend a lot of money on such kind of activities. So this is one of activity. Recently, you see, this is the one. I think 6 months back, the collapse happened because of corrosion. So this building was collapsed. So even many people died. Many Indians were died. But the reason behind is they are not able to understand, the corrosion happened inside or not the building. So this is our problem, in fact. Okay. So how do you know that the building strength, right? So we don't know the corrosion is happening inside the building, inside your pillar. You don't know that one, right? So what we have been invented is we have made a new kind of device where you can keep inside the pillar, and it will give information about what is the status of the corrosion. Okay, it is 80% corroded or 70% corroded, full information, and it is like a non-invasive, right? You can just keep it a phone near to that one, and it will give information. Like same like you're using credit cards, right? Like the same way you can also get the information. So the whole building, it gives information. Okay, in this spot, okay, the corrosion is happening, so be careful. After 80%, you have to vacate it, definitely, right? So this is the testing device we have been made, and this is the samples, corrosion samples we have been tested, and it can be able to detect even 80% corrosion inside, even 10% based on the resistance change. So it's just simple trick actually. So if you know the chemistry, basic chemistry, iron become iron oxide and it become less conductive. Based on that one, it triggers the RFID inside, and you will get the signal. So coming to the chemical sensors, so we have developed a different type of chemical sensors, I mean gas sensors, to check what kind of gas is releasing in the industry. Qatar is one of the largest industry where they can produce the chemicals like toluene, benzene, all kind of chemical their production they have. So for safety purpose, we have been made a different type of sensor based on the polymer composites. So imagine when you're taking the polymer and you mix with conductive filler, and you can able to understand that the sensor is working for different type of gases. For example, toluene, benzene, or formaldehyde, like that. So the mechanism is very simple here. So when the VOC comes on the top of the sensor, it swells it. Okay, when the gas out, it will be normal. So imagine that the chain is expanding, contract. So the resistance is increasing, resistance is decreasing. So one of the negative in this one is selectivity. So that's what I said. So it cannot even identify whether it is benzene or toluene, the sensor. So for that, we use the machine learning technology. I mean, this is the deep learning we have been used to distinguish what kind of VOC it is. Okay, and this is the experiment. I think I will play. And ethylene glycol, you see, and this is the prototype we have been made there. So it is detecting ethylene glycol. And we change the solvent, and it won't be changing that. Yeah. So the cost of this device is very cheaper. In fact, we use Arduino, and the normal sensors we have used. And other one, so we have developed a drone technology where it can be sense the leakage happen, where the leakage happen, because the oil pipe is like kilometers of kilometers. Humans cannot go in each place, and so we made a drone, and then it will go and every time and check where is there any leakage happening. So these sensors has been also inbuilt inside. Okay. Also, this is the sensors where we have been developed methanol detection and butane detection for the industrial purpose. And this is the robot. I can show you robot. Yeah, this is the robot. This robot mainly we use to detect the fire accidents inside. Okay. So what are the main cause of the death in the fire accident? For me, it's a lack of visibility. So when fire accident happen, too much smoke will come and you don't know the way to go, right? So this robot will able to detect the carbon monoxide and all other gases, okay? And then it can be evacuated very fast. So it can absorb using the solvent technology. So imagine if it is happen, what will happen? You have a time to be escaped. And also this can be also monitor the traffic, pollution happening, where it is happening also. So this can be moved from one signal to another signal. And lastly, we have also made a new kind of device where you can find the permeability of the membranes. So here you can see that we have embedded the sensors inside, and then you can find out the film permeability, how fast the permeability happen. Like the gloves. So if, for example, these gloves you cannot use for acetone, right? But if you are using the acetone, you have to know that how fast the acetone is entering in your body. So for that purpose, we have been invented this one. So in the conclusion wise, so we have worked on different type of sensors. For example, this acetone, nitric oxide, and also we have worked on pentane detection, even food safety wise, because Qatar is one of the country where they are importing, different type of foods, and they need to be checked from the ground level. Also, we have been used RFID corrosion technology and machine learning data for sensor for more selectivity also. And these are the funding sources for our research purpose. And you can also take a picture of this one because you can join. In fact, around $200,000 they will provide you if the funding is happening. And you can contact me anytime if you want to be collaborate with us. And also, I want to thank my group. This is my group. Also, Qatar Aluminum Company, they have been spent a lot of money to make the devices. And CAFCO, it's a fertilizer company. And QRDA Council. And my special thanks to my friend, Dr. Pallav. I think we have made more than 6 years collaboration. Yeah, still, we are continuing. And Dr. Basan, thank you very much. And this is some glimpse, we have been visited last 5 days with my family. Yeah, this is the one where we took here on in Delhi. Yeah, so thank you very much. If you have questions, you can. Corrosion, yeah, humidity mainly. Yeah, oxygen, humidity.
Other materials, Pallav sir better knows. If we
Yeah,
have
we can use make alloys, in fact, but the cost will be higher.
if you said that they don't have any restriction on the money, they can pay anything. If the structure is falling so fast, then it will.
Yeah, but the cost is, if it is like 100 rupees, 200 is okay. They will buy 100 to 1,000 rupees. No, impossible. Nobody want to be.
No, if this corrosion is such a big issue, no, then it should be handled like that.
In fact, the corrosion for them, not in the case of buildings, in the case of pipelines, huge. In fact, that's what I said. Imagine one blast happen because of corrosion, lot of oil gas will be leaked out. So per day, if they stop the pipeline, billions lost they have. Yeah. For that, we are inventing new type of paints to stop this corrosion also. Even new kind of devices to be analyze where the corrosion is happening.
Thank you.
Sir, I would like to ask one thing. You just discussed about one of the technology by which, by using the breath of a person, you can detect which disease he or she is having.
Absolutely.
So, is that research still into the research stage, or clinical trials have been done for that?
No. I mean, I show you the device is already out.
Okay, that is as a product is being into the
out.
market.
Yeah, it's out actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it was published. Many people.
Okay,
Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
But what we are trying to make it to decrease the cost now.
Okay.
Yeah, see, the cost is 20,000 rupees. Nobody want to buy it actually, right? So make it like 10 rupees. Okay, everyone will buy it. To take care of their health, they need to be. Yeah, it's not only for diabetes. In fact, for example, people who are doing the dieting, they should know about over dieting will kill them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. So
Okay.
they should have this kind of easy device.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Detection method. So the person who is using that solution by breath, he is only able to know that the glucose level is up, down, yeah, only a yes or no condition. I want to ask that what, how much and kitna.
Yes. You can. Oh, sorry. The concentration you can easily check it. In fact,
basically on a level of concentration.
Yes, level of concentration you can find it because of the color fading. Fading. Yeah, it's there actually. I think it's only there. Yeah, I think this is a. Yeah. Yeah, you can see that ppm level. You can see.
Okay.
the color swing.
This is the lab result.
Yeah.
Being as a general person, if I'm using the solution I breath, then how come I know the label?
Yeah, that's what you can use the camera. Your camera. I will show you. Yeah, here. You can see that here. You can take a picture based on the light intensity. It will tell that. There is software. It's not new in fact. The new is only the dye.
That will give the result in the some form of quantum key. This much of the diabetic you are.
Exactly. The software is developed already. Just the dye is taking time. Because it took 6 months to find out what dye at what pH. That's it.
Sir, I would like to ask a question.
Yeah, please.
That you said that for leakage reduction they use the drone
Yes, please.
to check the leakage.
Mhm.
So in sometimes leakage may be on the underneath side of the pipe,
Mhm.
and drone is flying above. So he may not be able to detect the leakage key.
So one thing, if leakage happen in the downside,
Yes, sir.
anyway it will go up definitely. It's a gas. It's a gas, or it's a liquid. It take a picture.
No, my question is pipe is the bigger one.
Yeah, right.
And the drone is flying on the upside,
I
and
understand.
if it is leakage on the downside, then I think it may not be able to detect the leakage.
If the gas is leaking, the smell is coming. If it is downside, also, right? And the smell will go up only, not down, definitely.
So the drone is also just senses the smell and all those things.
It smells it, and also it gives the picture.
Okay.
Yeah. For
Thank you.
example, if it is like temperature variation is there, it take a picture, thermal picture.
If there is so much of corrosion problem is there, then why they do not use so many non-corrosive materials and all the paints are available?
Yeah, of course, they are doing. They are, but this is like kilometers and kilometers. They have an established law
No,
before.
in that case also in the case of building, when they are making the building, they use the paint on the steel bars so that it can get lasted
Exactly, but
for the long time.
But the corrosion happened inside. Nobody can stop.
And one more question, I have seen that the sensor that you said that we put in the pillars and they will give how much corrosion has happened till
Percentage,
then.
yeah.
But in sometimes it may happen ki, the device is installed where it may not happen any corrosion, and the place where we have not put it any device, and at that place corrosion is more. Some like we see in bathroom areas, the corrosion may be more as compared to the places where dry area.
I understand. I understand. So the length, what I have told you, is like kilometer length. It's not like a small device actually. You can connect the wire from the one end to the one end.
Oh, okay.
You get my point. Yeah. So it's not like a small way. And also we have been used UFID, not only RFID. RFID range is low actually. UFID is very, very high in fact. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So we extend our heartfelt thanks to our keynote speaker for delivering such an inspiring, thought-provoking presentation. Your insight and expertise have greatly enriched our understanding. We'd also like to express our sincere gratitude to our session chairs for their exceptional efforts in conducting today's session. Your contribution has been in the success of this event.
Thank you, Arshad. Now I'd like to request Dr. Ashwini Kumar, Dr. Vishaka Baghel, and Dr. Ravinder Kumar to facilitate our keynote speaker, Dr. Kishore Kumar Sadaswani. So please join us. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to request Professor Dr. Ravindra Kumar to facilitate our session chairs, Dr. Ashwini Kumar and Dr. Vishaka Baghel.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request everyone to move towards E2 auditorium for technical poster presentation.
Good afternoon and a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, teaching staff attending today. I, Devang Rana, along with my companion Harshit Joshi, will be the host for this keynote talk. We are delighted to have you here in the 4th Biennial International Conference on Future Learning Aspects of Mechanical Engineering, FLAME 2024, organized by the Department of Mechanical Engineering, ASET, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida.
So now I would like to request Dr. R.K. Chegi sir and Prem Narayan to present the sapling of Parvana Datta sir as a token of gratitude.
Today, our keynote speaker is Dr. Rituparna Datta. He's an industry expert who is working at Capgemini Technology Services, Bengaluru. The topic of his keynote talk is Analytics with Big Data, Opportunities United with Threats. Dr. Rituparna Datta currently serves as the Manager of Data Science at Capgemini Technology Services, India Limited. Previously, he was a computer research scientist and faculty member in the Department of Computer Science at University of South Alabama, USA. He also worked as an operation research scientist at Boeing Research and Technology. His research focuses on developing efficient algorithms for engineering optimization, including evolutionary computation, machine learning, neural networks, constrained and multi-objective optimization, surrogate-assisted optimization, mimetic algorithms, and derivative-free optimization. He's also interested in knowledge extraction from data, manufacturing, and robotics. Dr. Datta has authored over 80 publications in international SCI journal, book chapters, and conferences. Now, I would request Sir to give his keynote address.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for the introduction. So, in the last lecture before lunch, we had couple of talks related to mechanical engineering, but my research is a bit different. So I basically work on optimization, robotics, and machine learning. To keep the title funny, so here I think the organizer missed. So here basically the title of my talk is about. So it's basically because now so nowadays everyone is talking data science, chat GPT, AI and all. So now there is a big question. So when we do data analytics or any kind of data science, now how much data is good? Is it small data or it's a large data set? So there are small and big problem associated if my data set is small as well as if my data set is big. So here in this talk, I will basically discuss. So when we do analytics with big data, either it is with ChatGPT or any data analytics technique. So what are the opportunities and what are the threats? Now, as a researcher, we generally work with opportunities, but at the same time, we have to also deal with the threats. Then we can really do the proper things. And before starting my talk for the robotics enthusiasts, recently we have developed one Python package. It's published on Journal of Open Source Software. It's a Python package for automatic calculation of robot design, basically for Jacobian calculation. Okay. Sorry for the delay. There was some software issues. So now, before going to big data, let us see how much data generally we create every day. Now, if we see, generally we create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data, that is every day. Then, if we see the internet activity, then 7 billion people use internet, which is basically a 7.5% increase since 2016. Then for every second, there are 40,000 Google searches. So now this basically shows how much data is generated every moment. And as we have all the smart device, internet, which really generates a lot of data. So now big data analytics is really an important part which can help us. Now, a question may come, why now? Why not earlier? And also the statistics people, they may ask a question, already we have all the statistics tool, so why we will listen to you? Now the statistics people, when they do all the analysis, they generally work only with the numerical data. But now, as we have high memory devices, so now in addition to numerical data, we have image data, we have video data, text data, handwritten data. There are many data. So as a result, so it's not only the analysis of numerical data, it's a combination of all data. So when it is only numerical values, we call it as structured data. And when we have images, videos, handwriting, voice, it's called unstructured data. And in big data analytics, so it's a combination to do the analysis, either structured data or unstructured data, or the combination of structured and unstructured data. Okay, so now what is the power of big data? So first is, big data can bring big values of our life in every aspect. So what is big values? So as I said earlier, mainly statistics people, before the inception of data science and machine learning, statistics people only used the numerical data. But now the computer scientists, in addition to analysis only with the numerical data, we are also interested in the hybrid part, that is the combination of numerical data integrated with unstructured data. And as we have diverse and heterogeneous data, so now big data analytics has to be fully integrated, and it helps us to make more better decision. And now, due to the big data technology, there are thousands of data from different unrelated areas that can support to make important decisions. I think many of you would have heard transfer learning. So in transfer learning, what we do the data analysis in one domain and then we transfer it to different domain. So now what could be the area of application? One is it may be health and well-being. So let me give an example. So we have developed one method we call is that sharing is caring. So in sharing and caring, what we do in the US, patient data can't be shared with others. So now let us say that one hospital or one institute is very much expertise with particular data. On the other hand, there may be different hospitals which has established new. So there our proposal was rather than sending the patient's data which cannot be shared, we can build deep learning model and we can share the deep learning model. So I already mentioned for health, other than health, it can be used for policy making, then smart cities, then online educational models. I think in COVID, even MIT University also, you people have gone fully online. Then there are many applications in robotics and human-robot interaction. Okay, so now what are the fields that generates data? So I think by knowingly and or unknowingly, all of us, we generate data. So in the conference itself, all of the participants, we have generated a lot of data. So how we have generated lots of data? One is social networking sites. So here in the audience, is there any person who never used any social media? I think no. So by knowingly and unknowingly, all of us, we are generating data continuously. Then search engine. So same for search engine. I think all of us, we use search engines. Then medical history. So all of us, we went to doctor at least more than once. So when we go to doctor generally prescribe different tests. And based on that, doctor generally give us suggestion. So now whenever we go to doctor and doctor prescribes us for different type of experiments, so there also lots of data is getting generated. Next is online shopping. So anyone who never used online shopping, I think no. So that is another source of generating data. And stock exchange, maybe all of us may not do investment in stocks. Okay, so now basically big data analytics, it is a method to uncover the hidden designs in large data to extract meaningful information. So this is main crux. So basically, let us say that, okay, so we have lots of data, we want to do some analysis, but what is the importance of analysis? From this analysis, we basically try to get or try to extract some kind of knowledge so that we can predict future. So now, let us say that today we have a gala dinner, and in the dinner, so there are many participants who has come earlier years, and there are many participants which are new. So now, who are new, they have asked the participant who has already come, what is the quality of dinner? So here also basically some kind of analytics. So now they are predicting that they have a very good evening with very nice food. So it's a layman's point of view example, but it can be extended in any field of engineering. Okay, so now what is the importance for these big data analytics? One is new revenue opportunities. Why new revenue opportunities? Because earlier the analysis was only with the numerical values. But now, in addition with the numerical values, when we can integrate image data, video data, language data, of course, we can get more and more insights. And as a result, the marketing people, they also get effective marketing. Have you ever seen that when you browse website, sometimes some kind of ad come in the top right, which is relevant to you. Let us say that if I search for a flight booking and then if I open any searching in or anything, then in the top right, we get similar kind of ad. So like this, the marketing companies, they generally help us with personal marketing. So suppose I am here, if I get an ad of some discount in Chennai, that may not be useful. On the other hand, if I see that in Noida, there is, let's say, 80% discount in a movie, then maybe we can plan to go to the movie hall. And as a result, we get better customer service, then improved operational efficiency, then competitive advantage over our competitors. Now, what are the different model of analytics? So basically, initially, it started with descriptive analytics. So by descriptive analytics, it's like a statistical method in which we generally try to give a description of the data so that we can understand the data in a better manner. And after descriptive analysis, next evolution was the diagnostic analytics. So in diagnostic analytics, it is basically why the particular thing has happened and what is the diagnosis we can do. So now it's the third generation. It's called predictive analytics. So basically we try to predict. So let us say that I was session chair in one of the room where Professor Sutapata was speaking. And now in her talk also, there are lots of scope of this predictive analytics. So let us say that we want to predict what will be the weather in the evening or what will be the weather after 3 days. So in predictive analytics also we can, let's say, we can do, suppose for a particular aircraft or for any mechanical component, when we have to do the maintenance. So that is predictive analytics. Now, in the realm of big data, now we started talking about prescriptive maintenance. Prescriptive analytics. So in prescriptive analytics, so here, in addition to predict, we want to prescribe. So now, when we go to doctor generally prescribe us medicine. So here, in the prescriptive analytics, first we try to predict, and based on the prediction, we try to prescribe. That is prescriptive analytics. Okay. So now, what makes big data valuable? So if we have big data, and due to that, we can make better model, and as we have lots of data, there is a scope of more and more in-depth analysis, and as a result, we can get higher precision. Okay, now let us take an example. So let us say that we have some option of flight. So one of the flight departs at 6:20, it reaches at 8 p.m. and there are some other flights. So now, based on the historical data, we can say that morning flights are getting sold out very quickly. So as a result, we can say that the company can introduce more and more flights in the morning. That is one. On the other hand, we can also try to give some discounts to the customers, because we already know that people are very, very interested. And when, let's say, 80% or some percentage of the ticket will be sold, then we can make the price high. So it's a better revenue model. Okay. Now, what are the challenges in big data? So first is the volume of the data. So even though nowadays the memory is really cheap, but we also have lots of data. Now, most of the GPU machine are also not capable to do all the analysis. And that's why we have to depend on cloud. And here there are some monopoly of the cloud providers, because there are only 3 big cloud providers like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. And whoever has used cloud, they know that for cloud, we have to pay. It's not free. And another problem is the data variety. So now, as I said, there are diverse sets of data. So now, how to handle the variety of data? This is also a big challenge. Next is the velocity of data. Now, as we have lots of data, so now processing of this high-speed data in real time, it is also a very big challenge. Next is the data veracity. So now, as we have lots and lots of data, and as a result, how to ensure the quality of data and how to get accurate data and how to deal with the incomplete data. And next comes the security point of view. So now we know that we have lots of data, but at the same time, there are hackers who are also trying to do all kind of data breaches. So now how to protect all this sensitive data, because we may have defense data, patient's data, and many sensitive data. And another is the complexity in data. Okay. So now after the challenge, next is the opportunities, because that is my talk. So first is we can do enhanced decision making, then we can do personalization, then we can do innovation and product development. I have already covered the predictive and prescriptive analytics. Then we can get competitive advantage, and also we can get operational efficiency. Okay, so now generally the big data characteristics that we generally denote with V, not B. So what are the different characteristics? Big volume, big velocity, then big validity, then big vulnerability, because every opportunity comes up with challenge. Okay, then big volatility, then big visualization, because when we have big data, the visualization is also challenge. Then big variety, as I said, we have structured and unstructured data, so the variety is more. Then veracity already I covered. Then big variability. Now, so what is the goal? The goal is that let us combine all the V's, and we should get big value. If we achieve big value, it's a profit and our analysis is successful. Okay, now I will be going through two case studies. So one is the success of UPS. So UPS has 16 million shipments every day. And then out of these 16 millions, there are 40 million tracking requests of the shipments. And as a result, UPS estimated that they have 16 petabytes of data about their operation. Now, can you really guess how much money UPS can save by reducing each driver's route just by 1 mile? 1 mile means 1.6 kilometer. So now, if UPS can reduce each driver's route just by 1.6 mile, the saving is $50 million. Okay, so basically how they have done, they have the large operational data and they have integrated with optimization algorithm, and as a result they have done route optimization, and the gain is the saving. Next case study is the success of Walmart. So now Walmart has 250 million of customers and they have 10,000 of stores. And generally in every hour, 2.5 petabytes of data is collected. Okay, so now what are the different type of data? They are Twitter data, then the data from local events, then local weather data, then in-store purchases data, then data from online clicks. Okay, so now all these data, they are taking into account to launch new products. And at the same time, first is to launch new product, and at the same time to improve predictive analytics. How many of you have seen that in Amazon shopping, that Amazon nowadays has their own product? So now they also have done all this, and they figured out that rather than getting the product only from third parties, if they can do their own production, it is more profitable, and everything is due to this big data analytics. And at the same time, they can also do customized recommendation. So now I think all of you have seen, if we, let's say, purchase a shirt, they generally recommend us tie. So if I purchase a shirt, they never will recommend me to purchase a water bottle because they are not correlated. Only correlated product they generally recommend. Okay. Now let's say if we want to do big data analytics, just tell me before 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, what are the steps for big data science? So the first step is we have to acquire data. So basically we can divide it into 5 steps. First is acquire, next is prepare, third is analyze, fourth is report, and fifth is act. Act is basically we are taking the decision. So in the first step is the acquire data. Now suppose we want to do some kind of analytics, we have to get the data. So to acquire data, the step is to identify the data set, then retrieve data and the query data. To get it, let's say from SQL server or NoSQL server. And after acquire data, next is the preparation of data. So in the preparation of data, we do exploratory data analysis. By exploratory data analysis, we try to see what are the correlation between different inputs and different output so that we can have a guess how the data is distributed, how the different data are correlated to each other. This part is also known as pre-processing because before applying it to the any data science algorithm, we are doing this pre-processing part. Next is the explore data. So in the explore data, this is basically preliminary analysis. We try to do different type of visualization to understand the distribution of the data. And then we also do data cleaning because it is possible that there are many anomalies, there are garbage, there are missing data. So we have to clean the data. Next, after cleaning, we integrate all the data. And step 3 is the data analyze. So in the data analyze part, we basically select the analytical techniques, and then based on our analytical techniques, we generally select model to do the analysis. And then after the analysis, next part is the report or result communication. So after that, we generally try to discuss the result with the domain expert so that domain expert also can give their insight. And then let's say if the analysis is correct and if we are satisfied, then we generally apply it in the real world scenario or let's say product development. Okay, so now I think all of you have used generative AI, basically ChatGPT. So now, what is the role or what is the relation between big data and generative AI? Because I think all of you know that Google's attention is all you need paper has fully transformed the world, because earlier most of the AI and ML research was mainly using RNN or CNN or conventional machine learning. But after the attention is all you need paper has come, so now all the natural language processing research has gone to the transformer direction. So now, if we do the intersection between big data and generative AI, so what are the benefit? So first benefit is the data generation. So let's say if we have less data, but generative AI can help us to create synthetic data to augment the real world data set, because it is possible that, I think, as you people are in mechanical engineering, for CFD and FEM, for some of the experiment, or let's say one iteration may take number of days. So in that case, we cannot wait for years to get the data. So here, after collecting limited data set, we can use generative AI so that it can create similar synthetic data which augment the real world data, and as a result, we can improve the performance of the model. Then it can also help us to create the content. Now, how it can create the content? It can help us to generate text. It can help us to generate image. It can help us to generate videos based on the big data insights. And next is the personalization. So it can also help in personalized contents and recommendation, which I think all of us have seen when we browse internet. And now what could be the key applications? Key applications could be marketing, that is automated generation of personalized ad. I think all of you have received either in your mail or while browsing the internet. Then in social media, then in healthcare. In healthcare, we can create synthetic medical data for research, because generally the patient's data that is not shareable. So we can take the similar input and we can create synthetic data. And then entertainment. So AI can create music, artwork and all. And now for this, what are the benefits? The benefits are improved efficiency, then innovation. It helps us to enable new form of creative expression, then scalability, because we can handle huge data in real-time personalization. But now, what are the threats? There are two threats. One is the ethics. So now we have all the tools, and you know that ChatGPT can do anything. And maybe all of you know that ChatGPT cannot answer all the questions. Suppose you say that I want to put a bomb in Noida. ChatGPT will not answer. But there is something called jailbreaking. In jailbreaking, you can do anything. So if you say that I want to kill a person, but it will not answer. But if you do the same with jailbreaking way, you can get the answer. So we have to be ethical. We have to ensure that the generative AI and big data should be used ethically. And another is the quality control. So in quality control, the quality standard should be maintained. So that is all about my talk. So the conclusion is big data and generative AI has to be handshake with each other, and we have to be really ethical, and we have to use AI responsibly, which is a new field called responsible AI. So if we can use artificial intelligence responsibly, then we can really get the best value. Thanks.
We extend our heartfelt thanks to our keynote speaker, Dr. Rituparna Datta, for delivering such an inspiring and thought-provoking presentation. Your insights and expertise have greatly enriched our understanding. We would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. R.K. Tyagi sir for his exceptional efforts in conducting today's session. Your contribution has been the success of this event. Now, I will request Dr. Arthur sir for felicitate our keynote speaker, Dr. Ritu Datta. So thank you everyone. The session is over. Special thanks to Mr. Harshit Joshi and Dr. Devang Rana.